had retired from the big band and all this, and he and Keeley were living in New Orleans, and they went out to Las Vegas, just a vacation. And Louis was looking the town over and this, that, and the other thing. And he came back and he had seen what lounges were. And basically a lounge at that time was where you sat, had a couple of drinks, bet your Keno tickets, and the entertainment consisted of usually an accordion, a clarinet, and a bass player. And that was it. And they were playing music that made elevator music sound like heavy metal. All right? So Louis had this idea. So he called Sam. He had known Butera, and also Motzi, what's his real name? Amato Rodriguez, and some other New Orleans boys, and they put together this group. And Louis paid them to rehearse 5 or 6 days a week. And they got real tight. And Keeley sang, Keeley Smith. And
wonderful singer.
So when Louis presented the idea to the powers that be at the Sahara, they said, "You are stark raving mad." He wanted to go in there with a jump, jive, and wail outfit that nobody was doing that. And Louis said, "All right, I'll show you how mad I am. I'll four-wall the joint." You know what that means, right?
No.
Oh, that means he leased.
He paid for the place, and then he'll take the door?
He took the door and the drinks. Everything that was spent in there went across Louis' hands. However, he had to pay rent on the lounge. He had to pay the cocktail waitresses. He had to pay the bartenders. And he had to pay for the booze. Okay? I mean, this is quite a gamble.
Yeah.
And it paid off in spades. I mean, Louis became an icon.
Yeah, one of the most successful Las Vegas acts of all time.
Yeah. So there I was. I got the call from, all this took place in the
early 60s or
early 50s.
Yeah.
And then I got the call. I first met Louis and Sam and those folks in '63. This is after he had divorced Keeley and married Gia.
Yeah.
Okay, and I was like the fair-haired baby boy. I was like 17 years old, and I'm playing with a headline group.
Yeah, man.
And being featured at Harrah's Arena.
The best of the best.
That's some pretty heady stuff.
Oh man, come on, Sam Butera and Louis Prima. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, you could retire right then. I mean, you could just say that's as far as I went.
Now you punch your clock ahead to 1974, when I had left Ray Charles, and I get the call from Sam. And now Sam wants to hire. Well, he had already hired another drummer, and then he asked me about a bass player. I told him, yeah, I got a kid in L.A., man, who will, fill the bill, no problem. And he hired a Las Vegas keyboard player and a Las Vegas guitar player. And away we went. So then we hook up with various acts, when we were doing the summer theaters, whether it was Sergio Franchi or Jerry Vale, and the group you're asking about, the Gold Diggers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was a wonderful experience being with them because, Dean wasn't with them.
Right.
But they held forth like nobody's business. They sang, they danced, they did bits. They were terrific.
Yeah, they rehearsed the hell out of those girls.
Oh, boy, yeah. Well, if you want to be, you got to understand, you're talking the major leagues here.
Yeah.
Now, to put it in perspective.
Yeah, what is there today? There's nothing like that, really, is there?
No. No.
There isn't.
And I'll tell you why. Because you have computers that will do so much stuff that you don't have guys really studying music when you can just goof off with a computer and come up with wonderful product.
Oh, yeah. And it'll just play it back perfectly.
That's correct.
Yep.
I mean, the death knell was sounded by the Chariots of Fire score.
Oh, yeah.
By Vangelis.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
I've never heard that before. That's a yeah.
Yeah, he could neither read nor write music.
Are you serious?
He just created these sounds, you know, da 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 da.
Yeah.
Da,
right.
And it got him an Oscar.
Oh gosh.
And
that is scary.
it was like, okay, what have we got here, boys and girls?
So what was it like so you guys were on the road? How did you travel? By bus, by plane, or?
Well, with every other band I was with, we all traveled in airplanes.
Mm-hmm.
However, Louis would not fly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I told him that when I had been over in Europe with Ray Charles, etc., I said, you're a big star over there. You gotta go and cash in on this. You're an icon, for God's sake.
Wow.
Oh, no, Chief, don't fly. If they build a bridge from New York to Europe, yeah, Chief will go. I said, you are nuts. I said, well, you could just have a half pint of scotch, knock yourself on your ass on the airplane, and go to sleep. You'd fly all the way there.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Chief don't do spirits anymore, you know. He always spoke of himself in third person.
Oh, yeah? Really?
Yeah.
Why is that, do you think?
Some people would call it ego.
Yeah.
I would call it an eccentricity.
Well, if it's ego, it's deserved in his case, don't you think? I mean, come on, he's Louis Prima.
Well, Frank Sinatra always spoke of himself in first person.
Yeah.
Elvis Presley, Ray Charles, every big star I ever worked with spoke of themselves in first person. Except for Louis.
Wow.
But
now, when you joined his band, I'm guessing it was an all new band.
practically,
Yeah. So was there a lot of? See, I never saw Louis Prima, so I don't know. Was there a lot? Did you have to really learn a lot, not just the music, but choreography, or?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing.
And Louis would do a line, and you would laugh for 6.5 beats, and then play.
Really?
Oh yeah, we rehearsed. Usually, started out we rehearsed 5 days a week, and we're doing the shows.
While you're rehearsing.
Mm-hmm. And you were expected, if you were going to be on the band, you were expected to know Louis' arrangements and stuff.
Because you would have heard them on the records and...
Oh yeah, they gave
Presumably.
us records,
Yeah.
tapes, all that jazz. Sure. And
That was great music, though. I mean, were you like, yeah, this is the kind of music I want to play, or were you like, oh, God, I got to go out and beat my brains out?
No. Thank the Lord, I was at a position in my career, having just finished being featured with Ray Charles on tour and recording with him.
Yeah, and you don't get better than that. I mean, come on.
And playing lead trumpet with the man.
Oh,
I was looking to go either with Count Basie or the Rolling Stones. I was going to take Steve Medeo's place with the Stones. That's what I was looking at. But the opportunity to play with Louis Prima, and I knew he wasn't getting any younger. You know, this is a one-time shot.
So you were a big fan of his, and you really appreciated his music, and you were like, yeah, this is what I...
For God's sake.
Yeah.
Who wasn't?
Well, there might have been a lot of musicians who were just working, who were like Louis Prima or whatever, John Davison, whatever,
Well, those were the people who didn't understand what the hell they were doing.
Wouldn't have gotten in, right?
Like that song, not John Davidson, the guy who wore the glasses.
John Denver?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so many people did not understand his songs. Like the thing he wrote that Peter, Paul, and Mary recorded.
Yeah, Leaving on a Jet Plane. Yeah.
leaving on a jet plane. Don't know what. You know what that's about?
No, I don't.
That's when he had orders for Vietnam. That was the unique thing about Prima's outfit, was any one of us could have walked into a studio situation and been a studio musician, which I was in L.A. Subsequent to being with Louis, I became a session player in Hollywood. I was doing television, movies, etc. And that is the Super Bowl of music.
Yeah.
Okay, now, on top of being able to handle your instrument at that caliber, to be able to go yuck, 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 yuck,
and do the call and answer kind of thing.
oh yeah.
Yeah. He'd say la-da-da, and you go, whatever he'd say, you'd call
And
back.
do it in tune,
Yeah.
because we all had parts to sing. Gi voglio bene.
Did you really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you know all those Italian songs now?
I remember a good portion of them. I remember when I was in Italy, people there remembered Louis Prima.
Oh, yeah,
And
man.
I would sing, C'è la luna mezza mamma mia mamma di tare. And they would flip out, and we would be dancing around restaurants in Rome, Firenze, Napoli.
Beautiful.
Yeah, but how many of these guys sitting in your orchestras doing the TV shows that I used to do, let's say Knight Rider, Cheers, Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, how many of them could jump up out of the seat and sing those parts convincingly?
Well, what do you think it was that? Now, so Sam Butera put together the band, not Louis. He was was Sam more the kind of go-to guy in the band, or?
Sam was the go-to guy, but as far as the arrangements went, when I was on the band, that was me.
Oh, you did arrangements?
Yeah, you look at the album, The Wildest 75.
Oh, yeah?
The bulk of those arrangements were done by me.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a whole specialized talent, doing arrangements. I think that's an amazing thing.
Well, I had done arranging for other artists. I don't know. Well, yeah, you're old enough to remember the disco.
Of course, yeah.
Well, I was doing a thing at Neil Bogart's house, and Donna Summer was going to be there, so I wrote her live arrangement of Last Dance.
Oh, yeah. That was a beautiful... well, let me just congratulate you on one of the greatest arrangements I've heard in my entire life.
Well,
please.
I kind of banged it out in an afternoon because I was told, hey...
Well, the great thing about disco is repetition was was what made it great. You just had if you had a great riff and you could repeat that, then...
Oh, yeah.
Or am I wrong?
That's what we call repetition. I repeat, repetition. I repeat, repetition.
Yeah. I hear you.
And here was the lick. Like I was starting to say, with other bands, we traveled by plane. But Chief, Louis didn't fly. So it would be your turn to travel with the Chief in his Winnebago. Oh, yeah. And the rest of the guys would fly.
Really?
Yeah. I had the gig with Louis one time. We were driving across country or wherever the hell it was, and it was really weird because he had a driver who used to not only talk to himself, but he argued with himself. And when I saw that, I said, Chief, this cat's driving this huge thing? He goes, yeah, boss, no problem. With that, I took out a bottle of scotch, drained it, and went to sleep for the trip. Yeah, I'm serious, man. And when we got to where we were going, Louis woke me up. He said, boy, you sleep like a newborn puppy. That's so wonderful. I'm thinking, yeah, I got stoned is what I did, man.
He sounds like a nice guy, Louis Prima.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was your boss, so I'm guessing,
It was funny. He always sounded, quote unquote, like the big buffoon. Yeah, Chief, take care of everything. Everything's nice, gunge, we're gonna do this. Until it came time for contract negotiation. And then you're talking to Melvin Belli. Oh, yeah. Make no mistake about it.
Well, that's smart, isn't it?
That guy did not put together his empire single-handedly by being a buffoon. He was an equal opportunity murderer. Yeah, he could murder the English language, he could murder Italian, Yiddish, Spanish, you name the language, he could find a way to murder it. He was amazing. He would say things to me in Yiddish that I would not understand until the third time around. And then, oh, okay, because I'm Jewish. And, you know, it got kind of weird sometimes. But Louis was unique. You know, like when you would go to the French Quarter in New Orleans,
Yeah.
he owned an entire block of Bourbon Street.
Oh.
The clubs leased the land that he owned.
Aye, aye, aye.
So he wasn't losing money no matter what the economy. That's what a buffoon Louis Prima was.
Well, he was revered there. I mean, that's where he came up, so he was revered in
Yes,
New Orleans.
Louis Armstrong.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Native sons.
But Armstrong was black, so that was a whole different trip.
Now, did you play the clubs in Vegas with Louis Prima?
Yeah.
Well, do you remember which clubs you played, or?
Oh, of course. We did the Hilton, and then we did the Tropicana.
Hmm.
This generation, how shall I put it delicately? My son's generation, the 40 and under generation.
Yeah.
They accept it.
They'll never know.
No, they will never know.
They'll only know the recreations of it.
They'll see movies and go,
Yeah.
what are those things coming out of the slot machines? They're coins, stupid. They don't even have coins anymore. You know, where you have the thrill of a whole bunch of coins going clink, 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 and all that. And hookers. A real hooker.
A real hooker comes up to you when you first drive into town.
I mean, no, a real hooker. I'm talking a class hooker.
Yeah.
Hasn't got a chance. You know, there used to be hotel whores. If a guy came into town and...
I always heard that, and you could call down and get a prostitute.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you didn't worry about her walking off with your cufflinks and your bankroll. No, because they were part of the hotel.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
That's funny. Now, now I guess about a year after you became a part of Prima's band, he, I guess, had that operation and went into the coma. And
I'll tell you exactly when. It was the 15th of September, 1975, because his quote-unquote manager, Carlton, I can't think of his last name. He was such a queef. He called me on the 14th, and we were getting ready to open at the Playboy Club in L.A., and I'd called all my, friends and stuff like this, and I'd contacted various jazz critics and said, hey, I'm going to comp you myself. And so Carlton called me and said, the Playboy Club gig is canceled. I said, you've got to be kidding. He said, no. I said, what the hell is happening short of, the chief going in the tank? He said, that's right. Louis just went into a coma. Well, what happened was Butera started working out the contracts as Sam Butera and the Witnesses.
Right, Sam and the Witnesses, right.
And I didn't care to work that way with him for personal and musical reasons. And
What was he like, Sam Butera?
I'd rather not discuss that.
Hey, man, I respect you for that. I'm not going to press that, because obviously you really mean that.
If you don't have something good to say about another person, especially after they're dead, I prefer to say nothing.
Well, Gia said that he was the life force of the band in a way.
Pardon me?
That he was the life force of the band. That, you know, he was the oomph behind Louis Prima. That's what Gia said. Now, after he died, after, you know, Butera died.
Oh, a lot of people said a lot of nice things about him after he died.
How about you?
He was a wonderful saxophone player.
Yeah, he was a great talent.
Yes, he was.
You know, a lot of talented people are not.
I know an awful lot of talented people who are just wonderful folks.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I know a lot of brilliant people I've worked with, and I've worked with one genius.
Which would be Ray Charles, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Yes.
And he was the ultimate sweetheart.
Yeah, was he really? Gosh, with all the things he had going against him.
Yeah, I mean, look at him. He was a black, blind junkie.
Yeah, if if anybody had an excuse to be a pitiful, you know, feel sorry for me, Judy Garland or whatever, that's it.
No, that was not our scene.
Yeah.
Ray was,
Gosh, he just kept igniting, and he just kept getting better and better and better.
And working with the man, and then having the privilege of his friendship, that was something else. I was part of, if you have any knowledge of Ray at all, you
No, I
know
don't really.
that he had a chess club. Well, I was a part
Wow.
and we used to meet over at his house.
And play chess.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have a picture of me playing with Ray, and we're on the airplane going to a gig. But he was a genius. He was the only genius I've ever had the privilege of.
Yeah. How to get along in the band, or